So, Donovan Edwards just held a camp a few days ago at his own alma mater in West Bloomfield, Michigan, where he won a state championship there and dominated there. And he was in the promotion of mental health. As we know, he went through his own self proclaimed mental health scenario. I don't know all the details, but I think maybe it was just he thought it was going to be an easy path to just be great at Michigan and be a man. According what I saw was Sam Webb's interview, and this guy got his mind right, and he was humble when talking about the NCAA video game cover, and he thanked the EA Sports people for that. But in the interview with Sam Webb, he looked very confident in himself, which bodes well. I think he took time out of his life there where he was down and depressed. Maybe he wasn't doing things he wanted to do, and now he is going to prove why you shouldn't do that. And that's why this sack the stigma is a great thing that he's doing. A lot of people go through that. Every American, I go through that. Well, I don't want to do that because this and that, and man, my life sucks. Well, sack the stigma and go get what you want. In his words, he is learning how to be a leader through action, and boy, he acts pretty damn awesome on the field for the University of Michigan. As a freshman, he had 35 carries for 174 yards. That's a 5-yard average. And he had 3 touchdowns. Also, he had 20 receptions for 265 yards and 13.3 average. And he also had a touchdown receiving in his freshman season. Now, this is behind Corum and Haskins and all these guys. But behind Corum in the sophomore season, he stepped in because Corum got hurt late and got a lot of these yards. But, man, as a sophomore, 140 carries for 991 yards. That's a 7.1 average and 7 touchdowns. He also had 18 catches for 200 yards. That's an 11.1 average and 2 receiving touchdowns as a sophomore. Corum came back, and I think maybe that I think someone said this, that it probably had a lot to do with his just depression because he thought he'd be the guy. Well, now he is going to be the guy. Corum is not back, but when Corum came back last season as a junior, Edwards went 119 carries for 497 yards, 4.2 average, 5 rushing touchdowns. He also had 30 receptions for 249 yards and 8.3 clip, but no touchdowns last season. But in the national championship game, he was outdone in yards by Corum, but not in yards per game, which was 17.3 for him, 6 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 of them were 40 plus. He is amazing as a home run threat. Donovan returns to Michigan as a senior and is bringing back 1,662 career rushing yards on 294 career carries, 5.65 average. And he also has 15 career rushing touchdowns here at Michigan. He is returning 714 receiving yards on 68 receptions, a 10.5 average in his career, and 3 receiving touchdowns. He is already among the greats at Michigan at running back, but what will he do this year? I did a video on all of the running backs throughout history that have been drafted at Michigan and who are all Americans at Michigan. You can go watch that video. I left Donovan Edwards out because he could be the next guy. So thought he should have his own video. So here we go. I think Edwards this upcoming season can get at least 1,500 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns behind Michigan's offensive line. Maybe more if we get to the postseason, which I think we will. Also, I believe he will have 500 plus receiving yards and some touchdowns, one or two receiving touchdowns as well. He could get 300 receiving yards in one game. He almost did that versus Maryland a couple of years ago. This guy's an electric athlete. I also think Edwards could have a touchdown pass or two this season. He can throw the ball. So I would expect, kind of like the old days when I went through the breakdown of all the old halfbacks, they could all pass the ball when needed. I know it's a new day and age, but maybe I would expect a couple of plays out of a package that he has the opportunity to throw. This dude's awesome. Uh, I do think Kalel Mullings will be a force to be reckoned with as well. I think he's going to get over 1,000 yards rushing too. So Michigan's going to pound the rock this season. But Edwards should be on the field at all times, at one position or another, halfback, slot, wide out. You never know. He should be there always. As we're talking about next season, going into next season, we got Edwards, Mullings, and behind Mullings is Cole Cabana, Micah Kapana, and Jordan Marshall, who will all be chomping at the bit to get in this season and going forward. We create a state of competition, and maybe it got to the Don, but now the Don is back, and he's learning how to lead. So here we go. The running back room looks to be loaded going forward. The Don is going to be the next great in Michigan football history. The very next great. Because there'll be more. There'll be more. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Like the video, share, and subscribe, and go donate to Sack the Stigma if you can for his, I think that's what it was, for like a charity. So go do that and have a great day, everybody.